and welcome to From the Newsroom. I'm your host, Kora Siebert. From the Newsroom is a weekly news update brought to you by the Southeast Arrow. This week's top story is SEMO's new alcohol policy revisions. Here's reporter Ben Schicker with more on the story.
On Friday, February 23rd, the SEMO Board of Governors approved new alcohol policy revisions, which now allows students 21 and over to drink inside dorms.
Going back even into the fall when this was being discussed, so I was supportive of it. I don't want our students who are 21 and older to end up, which could have happened under the old system and did happen under the old system, with a judicial fine or a warning letter or something because they were, drinking a beer in their room, or they had a bottle of champagne given to them or wine because they were graduating. Okay, so we've eliminated the policy issue. Generally, and I said this to the Board of Governors, I don't anticipate this having a significant impact one way or another in terms of what happens in our halls.
If you're in a fraternity over there and you're in one of those that ban alcohol, if you're 21, that's not a policy. I mean, we will enforce it as a university policy, but the fraternity really has to manage it.
To find out more information about the new policy, visit thesoutheastarrow.com or pick up a copy of this week's paper on campus. In other campus news, it is almost time to register for fall classes. Rate My Professor is a popular tool students use to help them with the registration process. Here is reporter Zach Huffman with 60 seconds with the highest rated professor in the psychology department on Rate My Professor.
For this installment of 60 Seconds, we went to the psychology building and sat down with the highest rated professor from Rate My Professor. With a perfect 5 out of 5, Professor Jessica Bishop. Can you tell me what your strategy for success is teaching students a very difficult topic?
I think they have to be able to relate it to their life. So I'm really big on classroom discussion and bringing in material from other places so that they can make sense of it. I think if they can't make sense of it and can't relate it to the real world, they're not going to get it as well. So I'm really big on classroom discussions, and so when we talk about things like autism, ADHD, if they have experience or someone that they know, we can talk about that and they can relate the material to what we're studying. So it actually makes more sense. I let them know that it's kind of a safe space, which I know is kind of silly, but at the same time, again, they have to be able to relate it to themselves. I love the students. They're all so unique and so individual. It's so cool to learn about their lives and what they want to do and their dreams and try to help them kind of get there. I just think it's so cool. They're all so different.
Last week, a fatal shooting took place at a local CVS in Cape. Following the shooting, the SEMO Democrats and other community organizations and members gathered outside of Academic Hall to protest gun violence in the community. Here is reporter Ben Schicker with more on the story.
The Cape Girardeau community gathered outside of Academic Hall on March 1st to mourn the death of a shooting victim and to protest the prevalence of gun violence. Cape Girardeau Mayor Stacy Kinder also attended the protest and gave a speech. Kinder said she wished she had the words to share that would end crime and violence in Cape. Kinder also said the local government and law enforcement are working daily to reduce crime to provide a safe and welcoming place for everyone. Kinder also mentioned the goals she has for improving safety in the community.
In times like these, though, it's also important for each of us as individuals to ask what we can do to be good citizens, good family members, good friends, to ask what part each of us needs to play in reducing animosity, ignorance, and anger. I know there are numerous people here who have spent a lot of time in our community trying to make it a better place, as we've heard from a few. How can we all support that work?
The protest was organized in under 48 hours by the SEMO Democrats. There were numerous community members, public officials, and students in attendance fighting for the same cause. After speeches were made, everyone in attendance rallied together and marched to Freedom Park from the steps of Academic Hall. Senior political science and criminal justice major and president of SEMO Democrats, Brock Freeman, played a large role in organizing the protest.
What I hope to accomplish here is raise awareness, bring attention to an issue, and hopefully call some people to take some action to do something about it.
For more information on this topic, check out the full article at www.southeastarrow.com.
That's all for today. Join us next week for a new installment of From the Newsroom. I'm your host, Kora Siebert, and until next time, take it easy, Cape Girardeau.